Good afternoon. This is just a PSA video. This one heads out to our dear friends at Hyundai, or Hyundai, however you want to pronounce it, and good old Tom the Con all up in Lima, Ohio, and my experiences with this joke of an operation. But I guess I have to give you the backstory before I give you the reason I'm posting this video. So 9 years ago, almost to the day, actually it was to the day, I bought my wife a 40th birthday present. It was a Hyundai Santa Fe she picked out, 2013. Nice car, SUV she wanted. Okay. So I get her that for her birthday, 40th birthday. We have the SUV for many years, and a few things here and there. Most of them were covered under the Hyundai warranty, I guess, is good. Air compressor went out, air conditioner or whatever, a couple times. Yeah, we had to pay a copay, $100 or whatever. They fixed that. Everything else we kept up with, tires, brakes, oil changes, especially because that comes into play here. Here's the deal. I'm driving down the road, a highway. I started driving the vehicle a couple years ago. My wife wanted a truck, and I had a Ridgeline, and I was like, well, you start driving it because you're like more of a truck. I'd rather have an SUV type. So we switched, and I was driving the Santa Fe the last couple years, actually. And my wife got a new truck, and I was driving the Santa Fe. I had no problem with it. I mean, couple minor things like the door locks. The door lock systems went out. Yeah, it was $300 or $400 because it's just shit that happens. Other than that, I mean, the tail lights all burned out in the back and all normal maintenance shit that I would never bitch about. I mean, brakes, tires, all that normal maintenance. I'm driving down the road on the highway to come home from Troy, Ohio one day, and I get about to Piqua. I start hearing a loud noise, thinking it was the truck semi in front of me, but I didn't want something to blow up on this semi, so I turned off the Piqua exit. I was just going to take 25A the rest of my way home. I got off and noticed it was not the semi making that noise. It was actually, in fact, my vehicle. So I had to pull over to the side of the road. It kaputted on me and it went out. I called the tow truck. We get it checked out at the my local mechanic anyway, in town in Sydney. And he said the engine's seized. I said, well, that's not good. Thank God I have an extended warranty on it. Okay, and this goes into play. So we take it and we tow it to the local closest Hyundai dealer I have, which we bought the car from. Good old Tommy All up in Lima, Ohio. Dealing with this soon-to-be dickhead named Adam that's in the service department. We get it there, and they say, take it apart, and they said, yeah, there's a bearing. They threw a bearing. You threw a bearing in there, and it locked the engine up. And I said, okay, what do we do? And he said, well, you have to put a new engine in it. And I go, I'm not paying $8,000 or $9,000 for a Hyundai engine. It's just not seemingly normal to me. So the other option was we get a hold of Better Business Bureau and tell Hyundai we want, our money because we bought the extended warranty, which covers all major components of the engine. So we did. When we got a hold of the because we tried Hyundai first. We said, hey, we need an engine replaced. And he's like, we're not going to do that. Blah, blah, blah. We said, well, what do you have to sue or whatever? They said, well, you can get a hold of Better Business Bureau if you want. Take your shot. So we did. Got a hold of Better Business Bureau. There happened to be a class action suit against Hyundai for the Santa Fe's in our year and the year after for faulty engines that loose bearings prematurely that locked the engines up. So I'm thinking, okay, this is a slam dunk because we've got the same symptoms of the class action that everybody's filing against Hyundai. We also have the extended warranty that we paid, $3 or $4 grand for when I bought the vehicle, which was used when I bought it, 25,000 miles. So I think, okay, this is not going to be an issue. I got to go jump through some hoops, but if it gets me a new engine and gets my vehicle back, I'm good. I'm golden. So we went that route. They said it'd be 60 days. It's a 60-day ordeal through the Better Business Bureau. So I did all the paperwork. I did all the hoops and jumped through them and all that good shit. Had oil change documentation, and the ones we didn't have, we went and found. And we also had to write out a rebuttal of what Hyundai would say to us. Hyundai said that their reaction was, we neglected our vehicle due to the condition of the head and all that stuff when they got the pictures from Tommy All and them up in Lima. So I said, how did we neglect the vehicle? That's what I wanted to know. And I had a written rebuttal. They said the Carfax shows gaps in your oil change history. Okay, so we found the gaps in the oil change history that weren't reported to Carfax. And we got a hold of the oil change places that did our oil changes and put all that stuff together, got it, document receipts of everything. Now, mind you, the last oil change I had was in January of this year. At 110,000, a little over 110,080 miles or something like that. The engine seized at 110,900. So that's just throwing that out there. So I just recently had the service on it. Nobody reported any issues. The oil was clean. I looked at it myself. They show it to you at the oil change place. So I'm thinking, okay, I got all this stuff together. It's a pain in my ass, but it's still going to be good for me. Now, there was stuff on my Carfax that didn't add up. Like it supposedly had some work done to it in Miami, Florida in 2019 when it supposedly had 33,000 miles on it. Well, that's completely false. I bought the vehicle in 2015. It's never left the state of Ohio that I know of. Unless, the wife drove it to Indiana or something. But we might have drove it to Kentucky or something. I don't even think we went that far. Anyway, it's never been near Miami, Florida. We've never been to Florida together in any capacity. So I knew that was bullshit. We called the dealership in Florida and said, get this shit off our Carfax. You got the wrong VIN, you got something. That's another part of it. But anyway, so we got all this documentation. The only documentation we don't have would be the first year we owned the vehicle, because we're thinking, this is how we're thinking. We bought the vehicle at 25,000 miles. Up until 79,000 miles, every oil change was done by Tommy All and the Crooked Bunch up there in Lima, Ohio. It was done at the dealership because when my wife drove that vehicle, she was adamant that she wanted to go and get it done there. And that's what she worked around there. So it wasn't a big deal for her to go there, go through the express, get it done, whatever. I didn't care. I don't care. I done it. After 79,000, we went to the local Valvoline Express oil place. We had all that documentation. So I'm not worried about it. We go to arbitration now through the BBB. Because Hyundai puts in there, and they put all this stuff that we neglected the vehicle, blah, blah, blah. I wrote a rebuttal to what they were spewing and said, no, that's incorrect. Here's the truth. Here's blah, blah, blah. We did not neglect the vehicle. And for you to say that, quite honestly, pisses me the fuck off. I said that in maybe a nicer tone, but I was like, how dare you're saying I neglected everything we have. Documented that we did all the oil changes, did all the routine maintenance on this vehicle. No reason that would cause an engine seizure. Okay? Now, bear with me here. So the arbitration says that due to the fact that we didn't have oil change records from 25,000 miles to 39,000 miles, showed in favor of neglect, which would award Hyundai the decision, so our request was denied. So I'm angry at this point. So I go back and say, why? I thought we had all the documentation from 25,000 to 79 was done at Tom Ahl. 25,000 to 39,000 was the first year we owned that vehicle. In that first year, the offering when you buy the car was free oil changes. And my wife meticulously, even if it wasn't free oil change, it was reduced price or cheaper oil changes, something. I don't remember. It's, 9 years ago. But she meticulously took that car to Tom Ahl to get the oil change from the time of 25,000 all the way to 79. So why 25 to 39, that first year we owned the vehicle, something in that first year, they didn't report it to Carfax. So there was no record of it at Carfax. So I said, go ahead, get a hold of them, and they'll have it. So that should end it right there. The dealership will have it. A Hyundai dealership with a Hyundai vehicle at 25,000 miles to 39, they got the documentation that they did the fucking oil changes. They said they didn't. So they straight up lied. We got no help from them whatsoever about any of it. Of course we didn't. Because here it is. It's the scammeroo. Because we pay so much money for an extended warranty. When my wife asked them about it, because I had to leave the room because she didn't want me to embarrass her or to jack this guy in his fucking skull, which I wanted to do very much. But she said, well, how is this not covered under the extended warranty? He said, that warranty's to 100,000 miles. And I was like, no. That's the Hyundai warranty that started 10 years, 100,000 miles. Why buy something with the word fucking extended on it if it's not beyond 100,000 miles? Then they changed their tune and said, well, we have to go through Hyundai first. But you offer it as a Tom Ahl extended warranty, yet you don't want to step up to the plate. So Tom the Con, who just so happened to be building a new Hyundai building, that just pisses me off even better. So basically what happens is they get you to sign an extended warranty. It's not worth the paper it's written on. Even if you keep perfect documentation, the first 14,000 miles that were supposed to be documented by the dealership all of a sudden becomes null and void because they're like, well, we didn't report it to Carfax. That's the arbitration's reason for not going with us, was that 14,000 mile gap in which we went to Tom Ahl. She went to Tom Ahl every fucking time in that first year to get the oil change. So they're all in cahoots on this shit. But here's the bigger part that puzzles me and pisses me off about the BBB. You're saying that neglect up to 39,000 miles. But yet it was 71,000 miles later, with all documentation in place, that we were getting oil changed 5,000 miles or under, which is probably overkill. It said we didn't have to get it to 7,500, but I got it. I just went by the 3s and 5s. Whenever it was close to 5 or a little, right around 3, whatever I felt like at that time, I needed to get the oil changed the last 2 years I had. Now, my wife, I knew she was straight line. She knew exactly when to change the fucking oil in that thing. We had that all. But 71,000 miles later, a known problem in those engines happens where you slip a bearing and it seizes the engine up. But we neglected way back 71,000 miles and 8 years ago. That caused that bearing to seize because the neglect of 8 years ago. Even with 50 fucking oil changes since, which, again, I beat it into the ground. They did those oil changes. They didn't report them. So it's a nice complex scam. You get the extended warranty written for $3 or $4 when you buy the vehicle. You hose them by not reporting your first years to Carfax in case something like this comes up. Oil change wasn't done. Oh, yeah. Which is bullshit, but that's how they do it. So what do they do that? 50-50 split? Does the cheapskates of Hyundai get 50%? And Tom the Con all up there get 50%? Of hardworking people's money that they paid good money for a vehicle and paid extra money for a supposedly extended warranty. Then the mighty all limited lifetime powertrain warranty didn't come into effect either because you have to go to Hyundai first. Good scam. Yeah, you got me. You got me for probably, I don't know, $3 or $4 for the extended warranty that was worthless. There's some. The car's worth about $10,000, but I didn't want to put $9,000 of an engine in it. You'll probably drop a $1,500 one that Hyundai gives you dealers in there. So I can go probably back up to Tom the Cons in a month and see a 2013 white Hyundai Santa Fe Sport for sale, probably for $12 or $13,000. That they got about a couple thousand in. And they get to resell it over again. So if you want a good, dependable vehicle, go up there, but do not get an extended warranty. I wouldn't buy a pair of socks and underwear from this motherfucker again. And he was a trusted car dealer for my wife, and we had bought together a couple vehicles there. I should have known by the last one we bought, which was kind of a lemon, but it's like, you know what, it worked out. And she got her truck out of the deal, and we moved on. But I just don't like being fucked with. I don't like being scammed and conned out of my hard-earned money over a damn loophole that was created by the powers that be that are involved. And you get some moron arbitrator that doesn't have any idea about nothing over in Virginia. She read everything that Hyundai submitted. I contradicted all that, but in her arbitration, she stuck with Hyundai. Like, I'm just lying about all this documentation I have in rebuttal. I don't know. I know it's crying over spilled milk now. I can't do nothing fucking about it. But it was funny because we called it to go up and get the vehicle. We were going to tow it to the junkyard and get, whatever we were going to get out of it at the junkyard. I'm beyond pissed. I don't even want to go into that place. So, whatever. I'm good with avoiding them. Well, they offered, just a touch more than the junkyard did. And I thought about it. Of course they did. Of course they did. Because now they could put one of their lower rate engines in this son of a bitch, or a crashed engine, and their service department can do it toot sweet, and they'll make another $10,000 on that. The car was worth at least $10,000, according to all the trade-in stuff. And the shape it was in good shape other than the engine. Had a lot of new shit on it. New tires, new brakes, all that good stuff. So you do that, and I'm not a guy that's going to take it and part it out and all that stuff. Yeah, maybe I could have made a few $100 more, but it ain't worth my time and trouble. My point of this whole video is they fucked us. They know they did. They acted like they were so sorry that it didn't work out. You're a lying cocksucker, Adam. And I don't know your last name, or I would dox you out here too. I don't know if this video will get to Hyundai. I don't know if this video will get to Tom All, but I don't care if it does. You could try to get me for slander. Let's go look at the records again. Even though I can't win because the arbitration's final, right? You guys are crooked. It's a joke. The place is a joke. You said extended warranty had to go through Hyundai. Why didn't you broadcast it like that? Why don't you honor your end of the warranty? I paid you guys for an extended warranty for Tom All's dealership. Why don't you hand over that extended warranty? Because you couldn't get satisfaction. Should be the customer, right? Customer's always right. Customer's first. And the fact that early documentation you guys hosed us on just makes me think that this was a planned loophole that you could always get out of. And I might have 1,000 people on here say, Hunt, he's never done me wrong, never done me wrong. Great. I'm glad. I'm fantastically happy for you. I wish I could say the same, because I had bought a vehicle in there in the past that was fine. But this one, I mean, you find out the shady side of Hyundai itself for the company and its dealership at this point. Maybe you guys might think I'm wrong, but I'm telling you, we had the documentation, everything. We jumped through all the hoops. We had an extended warranty that didn't matter. And somehow I came out on the losing end of this deal with my vehicle. It pisses me off. It really does. And knowing that there was a class action means there was a shit ton of these engines failing the same exact way, which we looked it up. And they were just probably barraged with vehicles, so they went to any desperation loophole they could find. 71,000 miles later, it blows up, but you neglected your vehicle way back when, which we fucking didn't. I'm calming down. We didn't. My wife was on top of that for the whole deal. So anyway, I guess I got to say a polite fuck you to Hyundai for being your scheming. Fuck Tom the Con, all dealership, family dealership. Enjoy your new Hyundai building. I'm sure you get assholes like me that paid for that. Because you got me for about 13 grand in total. Nice job, Tommy. Way to stay in top-notch business. You're a class act. You're a real class act. And your service department guy, you know, he's probably just a paid shill, but fuck him too. Fuck him too. Fuck you, fuck him, fuck Hyundai, fuck it all. It's just I had to get it out there because bottled up, and I wasn't allowed to say anything yesterday or Friday because this birthday girl asked me not to embarrass her, which I might embarrass her with this, but she said at that point when she got done talking to him, she goes, I don't give a fuck, put whatever you want on there. Fuck this place. It's a joke. I concur. I agree, my darling. So anyway, just a quick one to let you know the scams and schemes of Hyundai and Tom All, Lima. If you know there, don't go there. If you want to share this video, go ahead. If you don't, I don't care. If you got shitty comments about anything in there, you can keep them to yourself or put them in there and I'll delete them. I don't really care. It's just trying to help people out. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you buy into. It's not all what it seems. An extended warranty and a lifetime powertrain warranty does not mean you're ironclad. Keep every damn, even if the dealership does your oil changes, keep every one of those fuckers printed receipts. Everyone. Be meticulous. You shouldn't have to be, but in this day and age, you can't trust anybody. You just can't trust anybody. So, happy hunting out there if you're car shopping, but don't go to Tom All, my recommendation. Anyway, see you later. Have a good one. Enjoy your Sunday.